considering how pessimistic Western analysts and policymakers have recently been about the chance of Ukraine in Russia's imperialist war. Ukrainians must be more gloomy. In fact, the Ukrainians rise about the future of their countries. According to a public opinion survey conducted by the respected Kyiv International Institute of Sociology in December, 73% of Ukraine believes that Ukraine will be a developing country within the European Union 10 years later. This number was 88% in 2022. 0.5% believed that Ukraine would have a ruined economy and a big human exit. In December 2023, the number increased to 4 times and jumped to 19%. Not surprisingly, two-year death and destruction had impact on popular attitudes. Along with this, almost three-quarters Ukraine continues to be optimistic about the future of Ukraine, and in the meantime, with logical extension, Ukraine regional casting is not less important because it provides a rough uniformity on the board. Conceptually, Eastern Ukrainians are most pessimistic because they carry burden of war. However, considering past divided loyalty between Ukraine and Russia, the fact that only 2/3 is optimistic shows that only their loyalty is no longer divided. The southern people, who are not very behind, are as optimistic as their colleagues in West and Center. Optimism also affects all age groups 68-18-29 of age 26, the pessimistic 0.7817 their age 8,069 years for 6069-1070 those older than elderly 69-16%. The relatively larger pessimism of youngest cohort may be due to the possibility of being prepared and sent to front. In response, Ukraine's elderly people may have more optimistic because they had experienced bad times in the past and know that they would survive somehow. In 2024, we will see how the numbers will change. However, the prohibition of a disaster that was not quite possible is more or less likely to remain more stable. In the consequence, 2023 was an easy thing for Ukraine. War and genocide continued with full force. Thousands of Ukrainians were killed and many Balyali could not produce the desired consequences. In meantime, Putin and his comrades are growing up on victory. The West is giving dilli-dilliing to supply necessary weapons to Ukraine. They threaten, the Ukrainians must be in a deep funk. Putin, be careful. He is an expert on Ukraine. Russia USSR nationalism. Revolutions. Empires theory. As well as the author of 10 non-fictional books, The Collapse Revival of Empires, and Why Umpires Remerge Imperial Collapse Imperial Revival Comparative Perspective.